Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast. My name is Oliver, and I'm really happy to have you here today. Thank you for listening. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. On this podcast, I speak slowly and clearly to help you learn real, natural English, the kind of English people use every day here in Australia. Today, we're going to talk about something very important in Australian culture: how to ask for help politely, and how to say thank you in a way that sounds natural and friendly. It's something you'll use all the time, at school, at work, or just in everyday life. So sit back, relax, and let's learn together. In Australia, people are usually very friendly and helpful. But it's also important to be polite when you ask for help. We don't like to sound too direct or too serious. Instead, Australians usually speak in a warm, soft way, with a smile, and often with simple, short phrases. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're on the bus and you don't know where to get off. You can say, "Excuse me, could you please tell me when to get off for the city center?" Or, if you want to make it simpler, "Excuse me, is this the stop for the city?" Notice the tone. It's gentle, not demanding. We often add words like please and excuse me. These small words make a big difference in Australian English. Sometimes when you're in a cafe and you need something, you can say, "Sorry, could I please get some water?" Or, "Hey, excuse me, can I have a napkin, please?" We often use sorry even if we didn't do anything wrong. It's just a way to sound friendly and polite. You might hear Australians say sorry all the time. For example, "Sorry, could you pass me the salt?" "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" Now, when someone helps you, maybe they give you directions or open the door for you, it's important to say thank you. In Australia, we say thank you or thanks all the time, but we say it in a relaxed way. You can say thanks, mate, or cheers. That's a very Australian way to say thanks. For example, if someone holds the door for you, you can smile and say, "Thanks, mate," or just "cheers." It's short, friendly, and it makes people feel good. By the way, if you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to subscribe to English Podcast. It really helps me create more free lessons for you, and you won't miss our new episodes. All right, let's continue. Let's imagine another situation. You're in a supermarket and you can't find something, maybe milk. You can say to a staff member, "Hi, sorry, where can I find the milk?" Notice how we say sorry and then the question. It sounds polite and kind. Or if you need help with something heavy, you can say, "Excuse me, could you please help me lift this?" Most Australians will be happy to help you. When they do, don't forget to smile and say, "Thank you so much," or even just "Thanks a lot." If you want to sound extra nice, you can add, "I really appreciate it." For example, "Thanks for your help. I really appreciate it." Simple, but it shows respect and kindness, and Australians love that. Now, let's talk about tone. In Australia, people don't like when someone sounds too serious or too formal. Even at work, we usually use a friendly tone. So when you ask for help, try to sound relaxed. You can use mate or buddy sometimes, especially between friends. For example, "Hey mate, could you give me a hand with this?" That means "Can you help me?" And when your friend says yes, you can reply, "Thanks heaps." That's another common Australian phrase. Thanks heaps means thank you very much, but it sounds friendly and casual. Now, let me share a little story. A few months ago, I was at the train station. A tourist came up to me and said, "Excuse me, sir. Please tell me where is the train to the airport." He was very polite, but it sounded a little too formal for Australian style. So I smiled and said, "You can just say, 'Hey, excuse me, is this the train to the airport?' That sounds more natural here." He laughed and said, "Oh, I see. Australians are so relaxed." And yes, that's true. We are. We like to be polite, but not too serious. So remember, in Australia, being polite doesn't mean being formal. It means being friendly. kind, and easygoing. Another example, when someone says thank you to you, it's polite to reply. You can say, no worries, this is very, very Australian. It means you're welcome, but it sounds relaxed and cheerful. You can also say all good or anytime, for example. Thanks for your help, B, no worries, or thanks for showing me the way, B, all good, happy to help. These small expressions make your English sound natural and friendly. By the way, do you often ask people for help in English? What do you usually say? I'd love to hear your answers. You can write them in the comments after listening. Maybe share one time when someone helped you in Australia or another country. I'll read some of your stories in a future episode. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Let's keep going. In Australia, we also use body language to show politeness. For example, we smile, we make eye contact, and we use a friendly tone. If you look too serious, people might think you're angry, even if you're not. So remember to smile when you ask for help. A smile is like a magic word here. It makes everything easier. And when you say thank you, say it with a smile too. That's the Australian way. Sometimes you might need help in a more serious situation. For example, your car breaks down or you get lost. Don't worry, Australians are usually happy to help strangers. You can say, excuse me, my car isn't starting. Could you please help me? Or, sorry, I'm lost. Can you tell me how to get to the nearest train station? People will often say something like, yeah, no worries, I'll show you. Or, sure thing, mate. These phrases mean of course, I'll help you. And after that, you can say, thanks so much, I really appreciate it. That's perfect, natural English for these situations. When you're at work, asking for help is also common. Maybe you're new and you don't understand how to do something. You can say, hey, sorry, could you show me how to do this? Or, would you mind helping me with this form? Using sorry and could you makes it soft and polite. And when someone helps you, you can say, thanks for taking the time to help me, or thanks a lot, that was really helpful. These small phrases help build good relationships at work, and Australians really value that. If you make a small mistake and someone corrects you, say, thanks for letting me know. It shows that you're open and friendly, another big part of Australian culture. Alright, let's do a little practice together. Repeat after me, excuse me, could you please help me? Sorry, where can I find the bus stop? Thanks a lot, cheers, mate, no worries, good job. Keep practicing these and you'll sound more natural every day. By the way, if you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps our podcast grow. And if you like learning about real-life Australian English, please share this episode with your friends. Let me tell you something else interesting. In Australia, people often say cheers not only when they drink, but also when they say thanks. For example, when you get your coffee from a cafe, you might say, cheers, have a good one, and the barista might reply, no worries, mate, you too. It's a short, happy way to say goodbye. So if you want to sound Australian, cheers is your friend. Here's another real example from my day. Yesterday, I was at a grocery store. A man dropped some apples and another woman quickly helped him pick them up. He said, oh, thanks heaps, and she smiled and said, all good. That's the Australian spirit, friendly, kind, and relaxed. People help each other and they say thank you in simple, warm ways. Now, before we finish, let's quickly review everything we learned today. In Australia, when you ask for help, be polite but friendly. Use phrases like excuse me, sorry, could you please? When someone helps you, say thank you, thanks heaps, or cheers. When someone says thank you to you, reply with no worries, all good, or anytime. Always smile and use a warm tone. That's the key to sounding natural in Australian English. And remember, learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's also about understanding culture, how people think, feel, and communicate. In Australia, being polite means being kind, calm, and easy to talk to. So next time you need help, try it the Australian way. Smile, say excuse me, ask nicely, and then say thanks heaps. Alright, friends, that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed learning how to ask for help and say thank you like an Aussie. If you did, please subscribe to English Podcast so you don't miss the next lesson. And if you'd like, leave a comment and tell me. When was the last time someone helped you? What did you say to thank them? I'd love to read your answers. Thanks again for listening. You're amazing. Take care and I'll talk to you again soon. Cheers, mates. See you next time on English Podcast.